Today we will discuss about the phylum Aschelminthes or Nematelminthes. Okay. First, habit and habitat. They may be free living. Free living means they can able to move freely. Mainly aquatic means live in the marine water or sea water. Also terrestrial, also lives on the land, or parasitic means those who live in the another organisms. So they are the parasitic in plants and animals. It means that this group members of the phylum may live inside the plant body or animal body. This is why that's why it is called parasitic in plants and animals. Body form. Their body is slender, vermiform. Vermiform means this type of structure. See, slender, slim and slender body. Unsegmented means their body is not divided into any parts. Flat or cylindrical. Some may be flat, some are cylindrical. Vermiform means worm-like structure. See, slender worm-like structure. Okay. The body is circular in cross sections. If we cut it in among the cross sections are found just in this way. If we cut it, so rounded structures are found in cross sections. That's why it is called roundworms. Clear? Now, body symmetry. Bilaterally symmetrical body. See, the one plane can divide it into two equal halves. That is why it is body, bilaterally symmetrical body. Now, level of organization. They having organ system level of organization. It means that they are higher than the platyhelminthes or are more advanced. Why? In the previous platyhelminthes we have found that they only have some organs, but here organ system level means organs are united with each other and form a particular system to perform a function. That's why it is called organ system level of body organization. So that means among the phylum, animal phylum, first in Aschelminthes, organ system level of organization has been found. Clear? Now germ layers. Triploblastic means their body developed from the three germ layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These are the three germ layers. Their body developed from these three layers. That's why they are called triploblastic. Actually, when the male gamete, female gamete fuse with each other and form a zygote undergo cell division and formed ultimately from morula blastula and gives rise to the these three germ layers during the cell divisions. Okay. Body wall. Their body wall consists of firm, non-living, resistant cuticle. Actually, cuticle means a substance which are the outer coverings of their skin. When they may found in the parasitic form, it means if they found inside the living organism, so cuticle protect them from different kind of acids or fluids that are secreted from the inside body. So that's why they have been some resistant cuticle which protects them from the secretions of the animals. Epidermis and muscle layer. See, they have a muscle layer. Epidermis is syncytial without cilia. Cilia is absent here, but syncytial. Syncytial means, see, within the cell, the cellular boundary is not clear. When the cellular boundary is not clear, it is multinucleated or polynucleated. Here, cell's boundary or cellular boundary is not clear. That's why it is called syncytial. Epidermis is externally covered with thick cuticle of scleroprotein. This is the protective part, the outermost part which is made up of scleroprotein, means their cuticle is made up of scleroprotein. This cuticle is molted 4 times during growth periods. Molted means they remove it during the life cycle. How many times? 4 times molting occurs and cuticle is generally molted. So this is the basic body plan. Musculature. It includes mostly longitudinal muscle fibers. It's an important feature. They having longitudinal muscle fibers. Okay. Skeleton. There is no mineralized skeleton, means In the previous phylums, we have been found that the skeleton is mainly made of silica or calcium carbonate, but here is no mineralized skeleton is present. High fluid pressure in pseudocoelom maintains their body shape, that is hydroskeleton. Hydroskeleton means the cavity is filled with water, that's why it is called hydroskeleton, and due to the presence of the pseudocoelom and the fluid content helps them to move or to move their body parts as they having no specialized skeleton system. But now a question is that what is pseudocoelom? Body cavity is present between the body wall and digestive tract. So in between the digestive tract or alimentary canal and body wall, they have a body cavity, and this is called coelom. We know that coelom means the cavity that is present between the body wall and digestive tract. But this coelom is not lined with mesoderm. That's why it is called pseudocoelom or false coelom. Clear? They having body cavity in between the body wall and digestive tract, but not lined with mesoderm. That's why it is false coelom, and it is filled with the fluid, which is called pseudocoelomic fluid or pseudocoelomic fluid, which that's why it is acts as a hydroskeleton. Though in absence of skeleton, they can easily move their body. Clear? Then digestive system, as they having organ system level of organization, means system is found. Digestive canal is complete, means mouth and specialized muscular pharynx. It is the notable features. In the previous group there is no pharynx are present, but here mouth and pharynx are present. Also intestine is present, which is straight non-musculature, okay, with posterior anus. It's a great important features that anus is present here. In the previous groups we found that their body is blind sac type, means only one pore is present, that is mouth, but here mouth and anus are the separate. Now gas exchange. Specialized respiratory system is absent. It means that when specialized respiratory structures are not present, so gas exchanges mainly occurs through the general body surface, because in relation to their body volume they have a large body surface, and when the large general body surfaces are present, easily gas exchange occurs through this. Okay, here circulatory system is totally absent, only digestive system is present. Now excretory system. In the previous platyhelminthes group we have found that they have also flame cells or protonephridia for excretion. Here again H-shaped excretory tube is present, okay, which is also called excretory canal, and it contains a Rennet cell which helps to remove the body waste from their body cavity through the excretory pore. So this is the excretory system, once again an advanced features than platyhelminthes group. Excretory product is ammonia, that's why they are known as ammonotelic, same as platyhelminthes. Nervous system. In a platyhelminthes group statocyst is found. Here not only statocyst, nervous system consists of cerebral ganglia, circumcentric nerve ring with anterior posterior nerves. So again an advanced feature, though they are having not a well developed brain, but having central ganglia, circumcentric nerve ring with anterior and posterior nerves. This is also an advanced features. System, sexes are separate. Again an advanced feature. In platyhelminthes group they are hermaphrodite, means both male female organs are present in same structure, but here sexes are separate, also called dioecious or unisexual, means male female are absent. Though in platyhelminthes exception was found, that is fluke, liver fluke I think, where male and females are distinct, but here all the members of Acelminthes are separate males and separate females, means dioecious in nature, and females are larger than males. In this way we can easily identify the male and females. Females that lay eggs are having chitinous shell, means the eggs are covered with cell which is made up of chitin. So these are the features of reproductive system. Now fertilization. Fertilization means is internal. Internal fertilization means male female gamete fused inside the body, that is internal. Development may be direct. Direct development means there is no larval stage. The young ones resemble the adult, but in case of Ascaris, indirect development found. Indirect development means they are having a larval form which is known as rhabditiform larva. So both development are of direct type, indirect type. Clear? Now the examples, Ascaris lumbricoides, which is called roundworm and it causes the disease ascariasis. Secondly, Wuchereria bancrofti, is common name is filarial worm, it's called the disease filariasis. Second, Ankylostoma duodenale, this is also called hookworm. Okay, and Loa loa, this is called eye worm, which causes eye infection. So these are the basic features of platyhelminth, these are the basic features of the roundworms or Aschelminthes groups. So go through this, and when you learn it, try to compare with the previous phylums. Okay, thank you.